ಈ ಜರ್ನಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಯು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಪ್ಪು ಸರ್ ಜೊತೆಗಿರೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೆಮರಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ that is one of the top favorite for everybody and of course for you also. ಅದು ಹೇಗಾಯಿತು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ಸು?
See that, I mean, ಆವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೋ ದೇವ್ರದ್ದು ದಯೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟುಡೇ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಸಿಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ರೆಮಿನಿಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅವರೇ ದೇವರು. ಯುನೋ ಅಪ್ಪು ಸರ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್.
ಅಂದರೆ
ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್ ವಾಸ್, ಇದು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸೊ ಅವರು, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್, ಕನ್ನಡ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಪ್ರಜಾವಾಣಿ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಪೇಪರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. What do you do? You know, somebody had asked him. And then he was saying various things. And then he said, I also watch Food Lovers TV. He used to watch my show.
He's a foodie, of course.
Yeah. And I think something he spoke about in that, about me. And so I said, okay, somebody forwarded. I said, wow, great, and all of that. And then nange ivat kuda nenpide, I was sitting somewhere with some friends on a Sunday afternoon, with my family actually. And there was a call I got. And I answered the call. And there was this lady at the other end of the line. And she said, I'm calling from PRK Productions. So nange, you know, I'm very not clued in. I must admit, nange ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆವಾಗ. I said, PRK Production. Then she said, you know, Puneet Rajkumar Productions. And ನಿಮ್ಮೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಆವಾಗ ಅದು ಮೂವಿ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಯಾವುದು, ಯುವರತ್ನ. ನಿಮ್ಮೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಪು ಸರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಐ ಸೆಡ್, ಹೂಸ್ ಕಾಲಿಂಗ್? ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಶಾಕ್ಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ.
ಪ್ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಂತ.
ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರ್ಯಾಂಕೇ ಅನಿಸಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಐ ಸೆಡ್, ಯು ಗಿವ್ ಮಿ ಯುವರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಯು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಪ್ ದಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಐ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್, or that person only called. And I couldn't believe it. And I still didn't want to believe it till it happened. So I didn't tell anybody about it. I told my wife about it, and that was that. And then we had a couple of calls, and then we fixed up to go and meet him at his studio. You know, there was a press conference happening for the movie in Malleshwaram Nalli. So I still remember. See, there's a reason why people regard him so highly. And I still remember, I went into that press conference venue. The press conference was going on, so I said, I'll sit outside. It was me and my cinematographer who was there. You know, I'm always hungry, right? So I kind of say, okay, let's create some content. So the press conference got over, he was doing Q&As. And they said, okay, you can come in now, don't have to sit outside. So I said, okay, I went in and I sat on the stage ittu. And he was on the dais and I was sitting in the last row or whatever. And he was answering those questions. And then he was done with the question. Then he saw me and he smiled. That smile of his, I will never forget. I mean, he is Puneet Rajkumar. I'm just a content creator, you know, who's, you know, making idli dosa sound nice and appealing. He saw me there and then he came down. Santosh Anandram was with him.
Director.
The director. And he came and he hugged me like I have a relationship with him for the last 10 years. I mean, that was it for me. And then we started talking a bit, and then he was telling me about how he watches my videos and many videos, like Karnatakadalli ನೀವು ಹೋದರೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಜಾಗಗೆ there will always be a portrait of Dr. Rajkumar.
ಹೌದು.
Right? I mean, I'm talking about earlier. And whenever he visits, ಅಂದರೆ ದೇವರು ಬಂದ ಥರ. So they will keep it with the garland. And he was telling me, he says, I would see all your videos and you would, you know, you'd go to so many places where my father has gone and all of that. And that became the icebreaker of sorts. And we were just, I mean, even the vlog, if you've seen that, it was like I couldn't believe it. Then we came out, and his driver, his entourage, everybody is there, right? But he said, "No, I'll drive." And he said, "You come and sit next to me." So my cameraman, he was in the other car. But I mean, he was so cool, so chilled out, so humble, so rooted, so grounded. When we went to the place, we went into the kitchen. Andre, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ,
ಹೌದು,
that he is such a huge
ಸ್ಟಾರ್.
superstar.
Right.
And if there's one thing that one
Needs to learn.
is humility. And I think that's why he's God for so many people. To me too, I mean, that incident, that meeting is something that I'll always, I'll carry it to my grave. That is the sort
ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ there is one story. The way ಅವರು he would have made you feel.
Yeah. And so chilled out. Uta ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಕೂಡ, the fun, the conversation, the no pretentiousness at all. And what he had that quality where if he spent even the 10 seconds with you, that 10 seconds he made you feel like nobody else existed in the world for those 10 seconds. And I think that's how he touched so many people. And
Correct.
I was privileged that I was able to spend a couple of hours with him. And even when we closed, it's there on video as well. I said, next time we have to do a non-veg. Yes, we'll do it. And then we were also making plans behind, not captured on film, but where to go and all of that. That's the sort of person that he was, and he will always be.
Were you also in touch with him till his last days?
No. It was just it was, I thought, okay, fine, because the next movie that was going to happen then was
James,
I think James. And I thought, okay, at that point, see, I'm not somebody who I always believe that the universe conspires.
Mm-hmm.
The universe has conspired to make this meeting happen, and I leave a lot of things to the universe. And that's the reason why I'm never in fear of missing things out or whatever, because I feel that if it has to happen, it'll happen. But that wasn't to be, right? And in fact, recently,
Flavors of Gandhada Gudi, na?
Gandhada Gudi, yes, that's when I met Vinay. But recently, when Achar and Co. So that's when I had the opportunity to meet Ashwini ma'am, right? Ashwini, Sindhu. And we did a meal at New Modern Hotel. And I was telling her that time, I was telling her about all the dishes that she would cook and he would enjoy. And I could see her face light up, when I spoke about the kadbu that he spoke to me about and all of that. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why he is who he is.
There is
In
a
my
lot.
house, so next to my YouTube awards, my gold play button and this and that, silver, there's him.
Wow.
He's a part of me.
How nice.
And I guess that's the same for so many people. There will never be another Appu.
Appu.
Yeah.